Hi and welcome to another tasting video. And today we're in Galicia, northwest Spain, and specifically we're in Rias Baixas and we're looking at this wine, Marola Mass, Marola and Mass. This is a 100% albariño from the winery known as Atlantic Galician Wineries. Now, Atlantic Galician Wineries is an interesting project. It's the brainchild of a man called Benedetto Carcieri. And Benedetto worked for a long time selling wine. And after a while, like lots of people who work in wine, he ended up thinking, if I can sell wine, let me try and make it. I want to try and make it. Benedetto has put that dream into practice and he's founded his company Atlantic Galician Wineries, which, if you like, is a flying winemaker. And by flying winemaker, I mean a winemaker who makes wine in lots of different places. We're talking about someone who is based in Galicia, but who makes wines in 3 of the 5 denominaciones de origen in Galicia. Ribeira Sacra, the wonderful, steeply terraced vineyards on the banks of the Sil and Minho rivers. He makes wines in Ribeiro, famous winemaking tradition stretching back for centuries and famous for its native grapes and native white wines made from wonderful varieties like Treixadura or Torrontés or Loureira. And what we have today, Rias Baixas, the very coastal appellation, the coastal denomination within Galicia, famous for the albariño grape, which is what this is. This is a 100% albariño white wine, Marola and Mass. So let's crack it open and tell you a little bit more about it. This wine is produced from vines from vineyards that were planted about 25 years ago. It's harvested by hand, as all the best vineyards are. And the grapes are then brought to the vineyard where they are brought into the vineyard, and the free-run juice, in other words, the juice that naturally comes from the grapes without any kind of mechanical pressing, is left to naturally stabilize for about 36 hours at 10 degrees centigrade, which is important. This is all designed to maintain and enhance the aromatic complexity in these white wines. Once that's happened, the juice is then fermented at a temperature-controlled fermentation at about 14 degrees centigrade for about 20 days. And once that process of fermentation is finished, the wine is then left on its lees for a period of time before it is clarified and bottled. So have a look at the colour, nice clean, bright yellow. Also with some slight green streaks in there. It's a relatively young wine, 2020 vintage. Quite a tropical nose, there's a pineapple perhaps on there. Yeah, quite mature white fruit. Maybe some more sort of aromatic undertones in there. That's a delicious palate. That's a lovely, fresh, quite broad palate. This is not a light wine, I would say. This is quite a full, medium to full-bodied albariño. It's not a typical albariño. Some white flowers as well coming through on the palate. It's an albariño. Albariños always pair well, of course, with fish and seafood. I think this one you could take it a stage further. It would also work quite well with white meat, with chicken. It would work well with sushi as well. I think it would pair quite nicely with some Asian dishes. And it's a lovely long finish, which in a white wine is great. I think when you drink a white wine and it really stays with you, the enjoyment, that pleasure stays in your throat for a while. It's something that we always look for when we're tasting any kind of wine, but particularly in a white wine, I think. Marola Mass, 2020, 100% albariño from Rias Baixas in Galicia, Atlantic Galician Wineries. Give it a try. I'm sure you'll like it. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.